My name's Alden Morris, and today we're going to be going over retrieving your property back from police seizure. Specifically in this video, we're going to be going over retrieving firearms back from police seizure. I'm not an attorney, so I won't be giving you any legal advice, and I am from Washington State, specifically Pierce County, so this is just going to be me explaining the process that I underwent over the past year and a half when it came to not just retrieving property in general back from police seizure, but retrieving specifically a firearm back from police seizure. So like I said, I'm not an attorney, I'm not giving any legal advice, so just full disclosure there, but this again is going to be the process. So we're going to be starting off with, I actually have body cam footage of the day that my property was taken by the Lakewood Police in the Lakewood Police Department parking lot. You'll see that it all kind of stems down to a custody battle I'm still currently going through with a member of the opposite sexes, or not the opposite sex, but the opposite parents side of the family. It's been a history of harassment and abuse in that family, in that household. And this body cam footage, although highly embarrassing and personal, only sheds light to when situations like this occur and you're in the right and you're trying to get your property back, that how personal these things can get. So again, I just want to make sure that, again, that we're clear that I'm not giving legal advice. I'm just merely showing the process that I went through during this entire incident and what I had to go through and what goals I had to take in order to get not just my property back, but a firearm back from police seizure. So watch this body cam footage of the day my property was taken, and we'll go from there. Ready? Yeah, that's why I brought them. So you guys can bring it back to Grandpa's with you. Oh. You girls ready? Oh. I love you too, baby. Oh, give me a big kiss. Okay. There you go.
Gun? You have a gun?
You hear this?
You have a gun. You do not have a concealed weapons permit, and you have a gun here. At the police station. On camera.
I got it. Yeah, what the hell? You see this? I don't, yeah.
You have a gun!
I'm not threatening, no. It's a custody dispute.
Your gun!
Yeah, we need help. Yep. There you go. I have a firearm, but I'm not threatening. Yep. I also have a body cam on too. I have a witness here as well. Yeah. I didn't break the law or nothing.
Okay. You're gonna leave that right hand on the car.
Yes, sir.
Somebody grab that.
Good. Yep. I'm completely cooperating.
That's fine.
Yeah, that's my witness right there. No, you're fine. No, that's my witness though, because I didn't break the law. I didn't do anything. It's a custody battle, and he's been. Yeah. That's fine. Yeah. And also, if you want to see the footage on my body cam, I have to record our custody exchanges because he has a history of attacking me and threatening me.
Well, I approached you.
Yeah. No, it's fine. No, it's fine.
Drawn,
Yeah.
gave you orders.
Oh, and I complied.
You probably assume that you're
Yeah.
not free to go, right?
What?
You probably assume that you're not free to go.
Not yet. No.
So I'm gonna read you your rights.
That's fine. Yeah.
Before we start talking.
Yeah. I just want to explain to you guys that I'm even wearing a body cam
Yeah,
so you
that's
guys
fine.
can see from the footage.
You
And
can leave it on.
it's not for you guys, it's for her father because he attacks me. We have a trial July 10th with Judge
Are
Karina
you guys the
Kirkendall.
same folks from like 3 weeks ago or something?
We have
I
court.
talked to him,
Yeah.
but there was a silver car.
I
some
don't
type
know
of
anything
issue
about
last
that.
Okay.
No. Well, I have my parenting plan in the car too, so you guys can see it's a court order exchange here at the police department. I actually requested that.
Okay.
Yeah.
You have the right to remain silent.
Yes.
Anything you say can be used against you in a court of law.
Yes.
You have the right at this time to talk to a lawyer and have him or her present with you while you are being questioned.
Mhm.
If you cannot afford to hire a lawyer,
Yeah.
one will be appointed to represent you before questioning if you wish. You can decide at any time to exercise these rights,
Yeah.
not answer any questions, or make any statements.
Yes.
Do you understand each of these rights I've explained?
Yes, I do.
Having these rights in mind, do you wish to talk to me?
Yeah, and I have footage of the whole incident. He just started screaming at you guys that I have a gun. I never made any brandishing. I never threatened him with it. Never did anything with it. I just wear it for my own security purposes, same as the body cam.
Do you have a concealed carry permit?
Not on me, no.
But you have one issued to you?
No, not yet. No. I'm a constitutional carrier, so that's
so
one of
that's-
those things that we're part of the group now.
Okay.
Yeah.
Constitutional carry is awesome.
Yeah.
Constitutional carry is out in the open,
Yeah,
not under your jacket.
Yeah, exactly, yeah.
So
Yeah, that's the thing, it's just, yeah. Just
probably at the very
Yeah.
least, that gun is going into evidence. You
That's-
get a criminal citation to appear
Okay.
in court,
Okay, perfect.
or maybe go to jail. I gotta figure out
Yeah.
everything that's going
Yeah, I
on.
know it's
Open carry is
yeah.
red.
Yeah.
Leave it out in the open.
Yeah,
That's when
exactly,
you're
yeah.
allowed to do it.
That's the
You're
thing,
not gonna
but I never brandished it.
Yeah.
That's why I'm confused with why he set this up deliberately. So, yeah.
Well, you guys have been trading kids here for like a year or something, haven't you?
Well, about 6 months, because it happened in January 18, 2019, that we exchanged the custody changes here for me to drop off for my protection. Because, like I said, I've got footage online in the courts that he's attacked me, threatened me. Yeah, that's why I wear a body
How
cam.
do we view this?
You can pull it forward and push the middle button, or you have to bend it forward. Yep. Recording right now. Or you can open the case. Do that for us? Do that? Perfect. So it's recorded now. You're gonna pull that out. And then push the top button, the record button, and that's going to stop the...
Now then, now that you've just seen that footage, and as embarrassing as it is, you can see that I have it pulled up here. I want to reassure you that I was never taken into custody that day. I was never arrested. My property was taken, but that's just because the police kind of erred to caution that day. Usually in a situation like that, if your property is confiscated and taken into custody, or to evidence, whatnot, you're going to be given some sort of citation or some sort of paperwork, basically a property report. This should happen every time. If not, then you're going to have to do a follow-up and contact your local courts or the local police station in your jurisdiction in order to follow up with the case number and things like that to find out where your property went. In this case, they try to cite me for carrying concealed without a permit, although I provided proof through the body cam footage, and I provided proof to the courts that I actually was not carrying concealed. That's a whole separate matter. So this is the information that they gave me. This was issued on 6/30/2019. So June 30th, 2019, for an appearance to show up in court on July 9th, 2019, which I did. That day when I showed up to court, we'll go ahead and just put this over here. They gave me some more paperwork, which is, for example, statement of defendant's rights at arraignment, basically saying that you have a right to a speedy trial, blah, blah, blah. You have a right to a public defendant, blah, blah, blah. Regardless, they're after your money, whether it's going to be for a court fee if they dismiss the case, or if they're just going to, try to stick as many charges as they can. Basically, they try to get as many charges as they can, gesturing, all this crap. Most of it was dropped after the first court hearing, basically, which is, you basically just show up to court and they give you this paperwork letting you know that they informed you of your rights and that this is what they're going to be proceeding with charges-wise. So after that, it becomes basically a negotiation between the prosecution and the defense. And in this case, I provided them the evidence from my body cam footage, plus a screenshot of my shadow, which clearly showed that I was openly carrying through the shadow being casted into the parking lot. I happened to be in the Lakewood Police parking lot because that's where I arranged for the court to have pickup and drop-offs for me and my children, just for my safety from the history of harassment from baby mama's family. Prosecution does not care. They don't look at your evidence. They don't care to listen. So they just kind of proceed with more paperwork. They keep trying to pressure you into admitting to something, and then they threaten you with trial. Well, if you don't agree to this plea deal and take this, slap-on charge or pay this fine, And we end up going to trial. You could lose all your rights, blah, blah, whatever. You could do jail time. They scare you with the thing, with the most possible scariest scenario outcome. Just don't fall for it. Again, this is not a video about giving advice. This is just what I went through. And I knew I was innocent. I had the body cam footage to prove it because I wore a body cam for my own protection. I had the screenshot, so I'm not crazy. So I knew I was innocent, so I kept pushing. What it finally came down to is they basically had me sign for a misdemeanor of some sort. And the agreement was everything would be dismissed if I obtained my concealed weapons permit, because I was very against getting my concealed weapons permit since I live in an open carry state. If you look at my YouTube channel, you'll see that I've done videos on open carry tips for Washington State. Moving on, so basically the deal was obtain your concealed weapons permit, and pay a $400 fine, and then we'll issue a decree that you can retrieve your property back. Now this is where it gets interesting, so stay tuned. So trying to keep this video as short as possible, and again, this is just what I experienced. In Washington State, I don't know about your state if you're watching from another state, but Washington State specifically has a federal statute that says that if you are basically admit to ever smoking marijuana or any illegal narcotic or anything of that sort, or they find you, deem you, whatever, that you're automatically suspended from your Second Amendment rights for 1 year under federal statute. So when I got my decree from the judge to dismiss my case and retrieve my property back, I called the evidence locker to arrange that appointment, and they basically told me that a federal statute had been placed against me at some point because I'm going through a custody battle. Again, this whole situation occurred where my firearm was confiscated due to what you saw in the video was literally insanity from Michael Pope, the grandfather of my children on the mother's side. And I can say that because it's public information. That during this custody battle that I was going through, that somehow along the lines, it was assumed that I was under the influence or smoke currently marijuana, which again, no trial, no jury, no due process. I offered to give a urinalysis sample, whatever they wanted, a hair follicle, blood, and they all just said, nope, someone said it, so we're just gonna believe it, 1 year. So that ended up bringing me until September 3rd, 2020, which I scheduled the appointment after that date to retrieve my property. And this is the process in which I got it, was when I showed up, which is the irony, was in the parking lot in which you've seen in the video where my firearm was actually taken by police. It's the same exact parking lot due to COVID is where I picked it up. So usually it comes in a box, something like this. You'll see that when you receive it, that you have to fill out some paperwork, releasing your property. I had to go through a background check naturally. They're not a FFL, so you don't have to wait. Here in Washington State, it's a 10-day automatic waiting period to retrieve or to purchase a firearm. But because the police are not an FFL, you're just receiving your property back. You don't have to wait that 10-day mandatory period. You just have to pass that background check and a DSHS mental stability check thing. Of course, I passed both. They gave me back my property. You retrieve it in a box like this. Usually has all your information on it. This one, you can see an updated sticker here for to hold until September 3rd, 2020, because somewhere along the line without due process, my rights were stripped of me, which again, I don't agree with at all. So that was a complaint that I had, which lo and behold, the police department told me that that actually occurs quite frequently. So when you open it up, you'll see that your firearm is completely zip tied to the box, and then you'll retrieve another envelope with any spare munitions and your magazine. So in this one, you can see there's a case number. And then this one said magazine plus 17 rounds. So that was placed in the magazine, and that was in the box. Now then, after a year, you will retrieve your property back. One of the first things I did, naturally, because it sat in an evidence locker for a year, was I took it to the range and I gave it a test. I cleaned it first, of course, because it looked like it wasn't rusty. It wasn't in any poor condition, like the horror stories you hear from a lot of evidence lockers. And it was just what bothered me is it sat there for a year, you know, untouched. But it's a Glock, so they do pretty good about not rusting when they sit there for a while. But moving on, took it to the ranch so you can see some of the footage here. And obviously it performed, it functioned just fine. And basically that's the video on retrieving your property back, specifically in this case, your firearm back from evidence or police seizure. So thank you for watching. If you enjoyed this video, please like it, subscribe, and share it. So thank you again for watching.